going on? This dude, see Raphael, the Omad man. Alrighty, let's see. But there I am, the Omad man, and I like you. I show this cup every single day, probably getting stale. Check 1, 2. Okay, let's see. We got a new show today. Just like Mr. Rogers, every single day we have to reaffirm our thing, and I need to give my credibility. There I was, a fat man. I was a fat man. I was a fat man. I was eating all day. I was eating a block of cheese. I don't even know how I went to the bathroom. Okay, basically, we're going to go over a lot of new things here today. And, I try every day to come up with something. But, one of the most important thing is, this is like day 225 for me. Let me know what day it is for you. One super important thing, and I think Julie and Trucker Outlaw and Trucker Randy and Daniel and all these people, you have to network with people, other people eating one meal a day. Because if you tell anybody about it, they're going to say, one meal a day, you need breakfast, snack, lunch, snack, dinner, and you need to have your body working, and you need to have your organs constantly working, which is ridiculous. Would you leave your car running in the garage 24/7? No, you got to turn it off once in a while. We're going to be talking about plateaus today. And, I've had for every single day, I've weighed myself in the morning, and I went from 200 pounds to about 140. And today was the first day I kind of looked at it analytically, and I noticed a pattern. I noticed, I know I had plateaus, but I actually wrote down how long each of those was, and I am going to share that with you. If you want my food list and my weigh list and all that stuff, I went from 200 to 140, and I'm basically, send me an email, and it kind of shows where you can get your little cups or all those kind of stuff, and this is all promoting one meal a day in weight loss, and you need to watch it every day because, if you go to Atkins or Weight Watchers or that stuff, Weight Watchers is like once a week. I tried Weight Watchers and it didn't last. I've tried so many things for 30 years and I failed. Basically, I wasted the last 30 years of my life. There was a few good days when I was, my whole day was looking on the internet, since the internet was around, trying to come up with new diets or trying to, and then somebody says, you got to do the workout thing. So I'd work out, and God, I would get hungry. Good thing about Omad is you just basically, I wouldn't even work out at all. I would, if you want to walk a little bit, that's good. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about my plateaus because that's what I think I'm going to entitle this video. Okay, started off at about 200 pounds, and then sooner or later I got myself down to 180 pounds. That lasted for 2 weeks. Now, you ask anybody. There was dinners with my wife's mother, and in Chinese restaurants at 3 buffet at 3 p.m. I didn't eat anything. I just held her plate and helped her to get the different stuff and had a little bit of tea. But for 2 weeks, I weighed 180 because your body wants to say it's so used to being at that weight. It's like, I don't understand what you're doing. Okay, and then my next one, I can't believe I had all this information and I never noticed it. Then my next plateau, after I got down to 79, 78, 75, whatever. My next plateau for 3 weeks, 21 days. 21 days of not cheating, eating one meal a day, not snacking, not grazing, no cream and sugar in my coffee. For 3 weeks, I was 170. I was 200 pounds, but first off, I was starting to count my compliments, but guys don't notice, girls notice. Guys wouldn't notice if you got down to your original birth weight. Okay, and then my next plateau, for 3 weeks, I was 160. As humans, we're never really satisfied, we're just never, there's a Gershwin song that's like, you're never really satisfied no more. Okay, but for 3 weeks, I was 160 pounds. And this is, every day waking up going, okay, I'm going to weigh myself. 160? Are you serious? I got to the point where I go, I could not eat anything and I still think I'll be at 160. But sooner or later, listen to this, Old man failure gives up and says, all right, I see you're putting in the work. Then I got down to 150. I mean, we're talking a 50-pound weight loss. I mean, I was counting and recording every single time I got a compliment. So I got to be 150 pounds, and for 3 weeks, I was 150 pounds. Hey, I felt incredible, you know. I am kind of the pianist also in the band because we don't have a budget for a band here on the show. You say either, I say either, neither. Okay, so a little bit of music there. Now, okay, and then my next plateau for 3 weeks was... For 3 weeks, I was 145. You know, I'm not sitting here and complaining because, you know, there I looked, I mean, there I was 200 pounds. I mean, that right there, that stomach was probably about 25 or 35 pounds of glop. I mean, if they had an autopsy and they cut that out, it would be a yellow thing. You wouldn't even be able to see my organs because I've watched autopsies. Okay, and again, that's me. Here I am with my daughter. You know, she thought it'd be funny if you got me a Cookie Monster shirt, and it wasn't really that funny to me. Okay, so that's my plateaus for 2 weeks. Then the rest of them are all about 3 weeks. So, you know, if you're doing Omad, one thing to do to encourage each other is on this channel, and you know, I don't really have ads or make money or anything off of it. You know, I check my phone and I'm able to answer every single message you guys get or send you an email, or you can send me a personal, or I got a Stephen Raphael fan club. Okay, we're going to go straight back onto the show there. Thank you. Okay, we're going to go on to the fact that you need to weigh yourself every day. I'm going to say this every day because you need to weigh yourself every day. Okay, I want to talk about eating windows, okay? Okay, a little bit of music. Food is fuel. Food is fuel. Food is not recreation. Food is not recreation. Food is not recreation. Okay. Food is to fuel your body. I think the best analogy when I'm doing this, and I'll get myself real hyper and I get a lot of good answers. The best thing is when let's say you could talk to your car and you go and you fill it up with gas, and then it's all the way on F, and then you're driving by a couple miles later, the car goes, "Hey man, look at that gas station. Look at all the lights and colors and car wash. Let's go get more gas." I'm saying, but I just filled it up. Yeah, let's go get more. Because, I mean, how many of you people have eaten when you're completely full? I know I have. Okay, not anymore. I'd like to talk about eating windows. Okay, I eat at 5 o'clock every day. There's no substitution. I eat at 5 o'clock. I love that little pattern. Okay, I eat at 5, polyphonic music. Okay, I eat at 5, but you know, I've been listening. Sometimes I try to get hints from other channels and stuff like that. And this guy says, you know, my eating window is from 2 to 5. Well, basically, to know thy own self be true as night must follow the day, thou canst be false to any man. A little Polonius or some Shakespeare stuff. Let me tell you something. If I eat at 5, but if my eating window was from 2 to 5, and I ate from 2:30 to 3, you know what would happen at 5? I'd be going, man, I could be eating right now, and it's 5 o'clock. That's, well, okay, maybe not now, because I am so advanced in this, I don't really get that, I don't get hungry. As a matter of fact, this was the size of my stomach, which you've seen it. Okay, one benefit about Omad is this is the size of your stomach. Now, if you lose 50, 60 pounds, this will be the size of your stomach. Okay, instead of going and getting a gastro bypass, whatever, you're basically giving yourself one. Okay, and I want to say, don't play the diet game where you try to cut out carbs, you try to go to the keto, or you try to go. You know, if you live on the corner where there's all a bunch of fast food, you're going to have to go to the grocery store and buy some stuff. But you know what? If your family and everybody, your friends are going to Taco Bell, look on the menu and go, okay, I'll get, 3 tacos, and I'll get maybe a Diet Coke and maybe little chips. You know what? You know, you got to make peace with your food. You can't go, oh, I'm not going to eat that. Oh, I'm not going to eat that. Because that's playing the diet game where you're trying to eliminate this and that. Okay, we got a little bit of Zen proverb here. Oh, man, tell me about weight loss. A wise man adapts himself to circumstances. Just like that last thing, adapt yourself to all the food. Because if you lived out in Japan and all it has is right in fish, you can't go, well, I don't want to eat fish. You know what? You're probably going to end up eating it. So you got to make peace with all the food in the area. A wise man adapts himself to circumstances like water adapts itself to the teapot. And I am the Omad man. Alrighty, okay. Now I'd like to say that I'd like to talk a little bit about my family. My grandfather, his stomach was so big, I've never seen a belt that big. His head was little, and all he did was eat and watch TV. Okay, but I'd like to talk about and everybody knows about my dad. He would eat dinner, then he would eat sandwich, and after that he would sit down and he'd have to snack and watch TV, and that's kind of my problem. But a couple of brothers I have, you know, my brother, I guess he was in high school, he once told me this story I never forgot. This is how bad his food cravings was. He said he used to wake up at 2 in the morning, drive to McDonald's, and cry. I don't know if he was joking. I kind of don't believe him because he exaggerates a lot. He said he used to cry because the food was so good. I don't know if that helps anybody, but to me it's a little strange. But we could see how crazy food obsession was. I know that's why I won't have a 2 to 5 window, because then I'll like, okay, well, you know, I usually eat at 5, but now I ate it this time, okay? And the other brother, my mom used to hide food from my dad, but the other brother, his wife actually installed locks, and they lock up food, you know, and these are totally normal, successful business people. And so that's a little bit of background in my family. And so, okay, I'd like to talk about African tribesmen. I don't know if I could play any African music here. I don't even know where I should have prepared for that. Okay, let's see. So basically, I've just watched some naked men running all around. I understand why they're confident. They're all naked, and you know, they got spears, and they're trying to eat food, and I didn't notice one of them overweight. The reason that I want to talk about these, and I saw some women, the reason I wanted to talk about these is because that is like when the earth started off, they are way more natural than what we've evolved to, because they still live off the land. They still probably eat whenever they can find food. None of them were tremendous, okay? The guy with the holding the camera, walking around with the camera, he had some Caucasian in him. I mean, he had some horselatory. He was huge. Okay, but I wanted to just say, you know, doesn't that kind of show you something that you know, these Aborigines and these people, these tribesmen, you know, they're all thin. You know, it's because they probably eat once you know, once a day, or if they can even get that. And another thing I like to just say, as I say every single day, check one. Please eat one, just have one plate a day. And eating one plate a day basically say, you know, you could probably fit 1,300 calories. And that would be a caloric deficit. And let's see, I got to get through the show playing. He's a big boy. 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 Okay, I went for a diminished chord there at the end there. Let's see. I haven't really played it in some of these. Oh yeah. I've got a degree at the Omad University. OMAD. You know, every single day I'm going to do one of these shows, so I'd like to fool around a little bit and make it fun and interesting. Okay, let's see. As a professional pianist, I can play a lot of different stuff. Let's see. I'd like to talk about bears. You know what? When bears you know, they eat a lot of food, and then, you know, they bulk up, they get really fat like Americans, and then they go to sleep for months or whatever, and then they lose all this weight because they're the weight loss expert. You know what? When you take a bear and you put him in the zoo, you know what happens? Let me tell you. they get sick. And if you feed them too much, they will die. But nobody cares because they want to see them. They should leave them where they are. Okay, yeah, and they don't hibernate after that, and so they get real sick, so I think they have to try to keep some kind of regulation or something. I don't know. But it's interesting when they're out in the wild, they're fine, they lose the weight, and they got the circle of life going. But then when we pick them up, put them in the zoo, and feed them, they get very, very sick. That should teach you something. I'm not really sure what. Okay, I'd like to tell you about, you know what? If you want to lose weight, the naturalness is hunger. Ask Nikki Houston. She says she likes being hungry now. I am so used to being hungry, but now my stomach is this big. So if I had, the other day I had like 2 cookies during my time and a couple little things to eat and an orange, and I was so full. Okay, basically I wasn't going to talk about the 70 to 80 because I have 100 things now memorized, but it's 16 minutes long. I am the Omad Man. Thank you. I'd like to thank the sponsors of the show, and thank you for, please, my enumeration, big word, is you sending me comments. I check my iPhone like every 20 minutes. Actually, about every minute. Okay, thank you. And you know what? Back to the land of Omadia. This was me. Now I don't be like that. You know what? I like you. See you tomorrow.